This is Josh back here from Inside Wrestling Truth. Um, we're a couple months away from SummerSlam, so I went and watched some old SummerSlam pay-per-views, and I'm going to be doing a review on different ones each week. And this week we have SummerSlam '88 and SummerSlam '89. Those were the first two SummerSlams. This video was for older viewers that appreciate pro wrestling. This is when wrestling was really, really good. But let's get right into it. SummerSlam '88 comes from Madison Square Garden. Um, the SummerSlam '88 opens up, and we have like the intro for like the Mega Bucks versus the Mega Powers, and then Gorilla Monsoon and Superstar Billy Graham open up the interview, or excuse me, open up the show. Um, it's pretty crunk, pretty everybody's ready for it, And then we go to the opening match. We have the Fabulous Russo brothers versus the British Bulldogs. This was an excellent match. It went back and forth, back and forth. It was very long. It was actually a draw as the time limit expired, so nobody won. But it was a hell of a match to open up the first ever SummerSlam with. And on this match, I gave it 4 stars because I thought it was absolutely fabulous. Um, then we go to they go to talking about Brutus Beefcake, and then they go showing what Outlaw Ron Bass did to Beefcake, taking his spur and opening him up all over the ring. And Brutus Beefcake will not be able to be in the Intercontinental title match tonight. If y'all remember back in history, Butch Reed was actually supposed to be in this match, but he did not show up. If I believe that was always a rumor. I don't know how true that is. Um, then we go to Bad News Brown versus Ken Patera. Um, this match really to me was pretty boring. I gave it 2 stars. There was Bad News Brown got the win. There was really nothing there that really caught my eye. That got me. That really had me interested that much. You know what I'm saying? Um, then we go to a Mega Powers promo. Um, Macho Man and Hulk Hogan are talking. Just one of their promos were their '80s promo deals. Um, then we go to another match. Rick Rude versus the Junkyard Dog. This was a pretty good match. There were a ton of matches at SummerSlam '88. The only downfall for them is a lot of them were either boring or really didn't mean anything. But this was a good one. This was Rick Rude versus JYD. Rick Rude will win by disqualification because Jake the Snake Roberts interfered. But there's a spot in the match where Rick Rude goes up to the top rope and he pulls his tights down and he has another pair of tights underneath with Cheryl Roberts' face on it. And then he comes off and hits JYD with the fist. Jake comes out, beats the shit out of him. And but Rick Rude gets the win by disqualification. I gave this match 3 stars. I thought it was very, very good. After that, we go to a Honky Tonk Man interview. Honky Tonk Man's like, I don't care who I got to face tonight. It really don't matter. I can beat anybody in the WWF. Blah blah blah. Pretty funny gimmick though. Honky Tonk Man. Um, then we have another tag match. This match wasn't like the opening match, and it wasn't a classic tag team wrestling match like you seen in the WWF this time. It was really boring. It was the Bolsheviks versus the Powers of Pain. This is when the Powers of Pain were faces, and uh, Baron von Roski was their manager. This match was really boring. There wasn't much psychology in this match at all. Pretty plain. I gave it 2.5 stars. Of course, the Powers of Pain will get the win. Always like the Powers of Pain better in their solo careers than I did as a tag team. but I gave it a 2.5 stars. It just wasn't that good to me. Then we have the Brother Love show. Brother Love comes out and he's putting down his next guest. He's bashing him, telling him how dumb he is, and then Hacksaw Jim Duggan comes out. Pretty funny segment, you know. Then we go to the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship match. Honky Tonk Man comes out with Jimmy Hart. He's like, I don't care who I face. You can bring anybody out. It really don't matter. By about that time, the Ultimate Warrior's music hits. Ultimate Warrior comes out and beats Honky Tonk Man in like 20 seconds. I'm not trying to hate on anybody, but I gave this match only 1 star because it was only 20 seconds long. I know it was an epic moment in the Ultimate Warrior's career. It's supposed to be one of the greatest moments in SummerSlam history, but overall, match-wise, I give it 1 star because it's 20 seconds long. Then we go to a Bobby Heenan interview. You know, Bobby Heenan just being Bobby Heenan, just being silly. You know, he's talking about Jake the Snake getting in Rick Rude's feud and stuff like that. Then we go to another match, Don Morocco versus Dino Bravo. Two really monstrous men, you know, they had that look. But when they got in the ring with each other, it was just horrible. Another horrible match. Dino Bravo gets the win over Don Morocco. I think these two were good, but they had to be in the ring with someone that could make it a good match, if you understand what I mean. I gave this match only 2 stars as well. Not that very good to me. Then we go to the Jesse Ventura interview. You know, he's a special guest referee for the main event that night. And he basically, you know, talks about how this is the best decision Jack Tunney's ever made. And he's going to call it right down the middle. Then we go to the Hart Foundation versus Demolition match. This was for the tag team championships. This was a great match. Hart Foundation Demolition matches were always good. This one was also very good. I gave it 3.5 stars. Demolition would pick up the win. You know, they outsmart the Hart Foundation. Jimmy Hart throws in the megaphone. And not Jimmy Hart. What the fuck am I talking about? Sorry, guys. Thinking about something else. Demolition and the Hart Foundation. Let's do this over. Was a very good match. Like I said, Demolition would pick up the win. They go back and forth all over the place. When I do my SummerSlam 90 review, that'll be the one that I really talk about. But Demolition picks up the win over the Hart Foundation. Then we go to the back. We got the Honky Tonk Man interview. He's pretty pissed because he lost the title, saying the WWF's been trying to fuck him over since he's been in the company. He'll get his belt back. We all know he never got his belt back, which makes it even more funnier when you go back and watch it now. Then we have another match that just didn't make sense, wasn't exciting, and really just didn't do anything for me. Was the Big Boss Man versus Coco Beware. I know they're two legends of this business, but this match was just it was just boring, man. Boss Man picks up the win over Coco Beware. I give it 2.5 stars, being nice. Then after that, we go to the Ultimate Warrior celebrating the Intercontinental Championship win. He cuts one of his legendary "What the fuck did you just say?" promos, and all the faces in the locker room were partying with him. Then we go to a match that was better than I thought it would be. Hercules versus Jake Roberts. I really didn't think. I didn't think this match would be anything, but it was actually not bad. Um, they go back and forth. Hercules actually put in some good ring work, some good psychology in on this match. Um, it was a really good match. I gave it 3 stars. Jake Roberts picks up the win with the DDT, and then that would set us up for the match of the night. It got 5 stars out of 5 stars. The Mega Powers, Hulk Hogan and Macho Man versus the Mega Bucks, the Million Dollar Man and Andre the Giant, with special guest Jesse the Body Ventura. Um, Storytelling wise, you had Hogan and Andre, and what they lacked for in inside ring work, Ted DiBiase and Randy Savage made up for. Just a great match, back and forth. Never knew what was going to happen. Really, really great. It's one of the greatest SummerSlam matches of all time. SummerSlam '88 main event. The Mega Powers over the Mega Bucks. My final saying here on this SummerSlam '88 deal. There were a few matches on here that I really enjoyed. The Rougeaus and the Bulldogs. Hard Foundation and Demolition. The Mega Powers and Mega Bucks. And Rick Rude and JYD. But other than that, there was a lot of matches that were just seemed like they just got thrown together out of place. Maybe, I don't know. But overall, for the first SummerSlam, I gave it 7.5 stars out of 10. Um, I think they could have made some better matches, but that's just for SummerSlam '88. My final thoughts. Now let's move into SummerSlam '89. Okay, SummerSlam '89. SummerSlam '89 from the Meadowlands. Start off with a, not just like the year before in '88, we start off with a badass tag team match. We're going to start off with one in '89. We have the Hart Foundation versus the Brainbusters. I gave this match 4 stars. This match was sensational. I mean, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Bret Hart, Anvil all really worked good in this match. A lot of hot tags, a lot of good work, ringside ring work. Like I said, I gave it 4 stars because I thought it was great. Great way to open up SummerSlam '89 and get the ball rolling for this event. Um, After that, we go to a Dusty Rhodes interview. Uh, Dusty Rhodes is pretty much talking about, um, Honky Tonk Man and a bunch of other late '80s promo goofy stuff. But I guess it's entertaining to some. I never really ever understood why Dusty Rhodes wore the polka dots. Would somebody please out there explain that to me? Then we go into the Dusty Rhodes Honky Tonk Man match. Um, this was a pretty good match, believe it or not. Gave it 3.5 stars. Dusty Rhodes picks up the win over the Honky Tonk Man. Um, they have a really good match, and then at the end of the match, Jimmy Hart gets up on the apron with the guitar. He goes to hit Dusty Rhodes with it, but he hits Honky Tonk Man instead. And Dusty Rhodes picks up the 1-2-3. He gave it 3.5 stars. Thought it was a very good match. Um, then we go to the back. Mean Gene does one of the classic interviews with Demolition, Axe and Smash, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, King Duggan. Pretty, silly promo. You know how Duggan is, and Demolition is not far off. And they're pretty much talking about their 6-man tag tonight with the Twin Towers and Andre the Giant. We'll get to that later. Then we go to Mr. Perfect versus the Red Rooster Terry Taylor. Now, if you take the Red Rooster gimmick away from Terry Taylor is a good wrestler. But if you leave the Red Rooster gimmick on him, it just makes him look ridiculous. But him and Mr. Perfect had a really good match. I gave it 3 stars. Mr. Perfect versus Red Rooster. Perfect picked up the win, of course. Um, then we go backstage to a Rick Rude and Bobby Heenan interview. They're just talking about what they're going to do to the Warrior and all kinds of stuff like that, man. Real funny, you know. Um, then we go to a 6-man tag match. The Rockers and Tito Santana versus the Rougeos and Rick Martel. Uh, Once again, another great match. Tito Santana and the Rockers look like they have the upper hand the whole match. And at the end, the Rougeos and Rick Martel still the win. A great 6-man tag match. Everything you wanted to see in this match happened from a wrestling capacity. Um, 3.5 stars. I'm sitting here watching SummerSlam '89, and I'm thinking, damn, is there going to be a bad match in this pay per view? Um, then we go backstage to the Rick Rude Warrior feud, the build up from the Royal Rumble, and so on, so on. WrestleMania. Um, then we go to an Ultimate Warrior video interview where he's talking about getting the Intercontinental title back again. Then we go to the Intercontinental title match, Rick Rude versus Ultimate Warrior. Um, it's a really good match. It's one of Warrior's best matches of his career. Rick Rude carries him through the whole match. Really, really good. Um, Heenan keeps getting involved. Warriors almost beat Rude a few times. Then Piper comes down the aisle and moons Rick Rude, which is kind of funny, dude. And Warrior ends up picking up the win and wins the Intercontinental title. I gave this 4 stars. It was an excellent match. Excellent. Um, then we go backstage and Mean Gene interviews Mr. Perfect. Um, talking about Mr. Perfect's victory over the Red Rooster. Then Piper has one where he's talking about, he's off the wall, talking about he can be a little rude himself, talking about Rick Rude. Then Ronnie Garvin comes in and talking about how he's got a surprise for people on the night. And then Bobby Heenan and Rick Rude come in and they are livid. They are pissed. They want their Intercontinental title back. It's a great, great promo from both men. If you've never seen it, go check it out, guys. Um, then we go to the another 6-man tag match. We have Bossman Akeem and Andre versus Axe Smash and Duggan. Um, it amazes me that this was as good as a match as it was, but it was a very, very good match. Um, all 6 men worked really well. When you have an aging Andre and a guy like Hakeem, you're limited to what you can do. But they really did good in this match, and of course, Demolition and them come out with the win. Um, I gave it 3.5 stars. Another great match. Um, there wasn't a bad match that I can remember on. There's not many that's on SummerSlam '89. Um, then we go to the $1 Million Man Virgil interview. Uh, $1 Million Man basically says what he's going to do to Jimmy Snuka, and Jimmy Snuka should have stayed over on his mountain and never came to America, and he's got enough money to buy his island, and all kinds of stuff like that. Um, and then we go to the ring. We go to the ring, and Ronnie Garvin's in the ring. Hercules is in the ring, and then they introduce Greg Valentine. Um, Ronnie Garvin just bashes Greg Valentine, talks about how fat, how he has 2 left feet, how dumb he is. Uh, Greg Valentine will pick up the win, but this match was really not that long. It really wasn't that good. I gave it 2 stars. That's really only one of the bad matches on the night. Greg Valentine picks up the win. Then we go to a very, very strange interview with Macho Man Zeus and Sensational Sherry. I don't know what we got going on here. I don't know if there was some heavy drugs in the WWF locker room in '89 or what was really going on. They talked for a few minutes, and like Sherry's acting like she's got a crystal ball and can see Hulk Hogan in his future or some shit. I really don't know what's going on there, but whatever. Then we go to another match, Million Dollar Man versus Jimmy Snuka. Not a whole lot here. I gave it 2.5 stars. It's Teddy DiBiase and Snuka, but it wasn't their best match because you're not going to go out there and have your best match before the main event. You know, you don't want to take away from the main event. But DiBiase would win by count out, but Snuka would come back at the end and beat Virgil and the Million Dollar Man up. Um, then we go to Hulk Hogan and Brutus the Barber Beefcake's promo. Um, it was pretty strange, I would say. I guess they really didn't say anything in that promo. Brutus Beefcake was talking about how sharp his clippers were, and Hulk Hogan was talking about riding into SummerSlam on his Harley or some shit. And then we go back to the history of the Hogan and Zeus. Many of y'all know him as Debo, but as older people know him as Zeus. And the Saturday Night Main Event and so on and so on. But then we go to the match for the second year in a row. We have a tag team match for the main event. We have Macho Man and Zeus versus Hulk Hogan and the Barber. I gave this match 4 stars. Um, I thought this was a very good match for what we know. Beefcake's not the best worker. Zeus wasn't even a wrestler; he was a movie actor. But for the time that he had to train, he was really good in the ring. You had Savage and you had Hogan, who could always tell a story. They always worked tremendous together. Um, but I gave it 4 stars. Of course, Hogan and Beefcake come out on top. Um, this SummerSlam was awesome. SummerSlam '89 was awesome. I gave it 9 stars out of 10. I tell you what, if the two matches, the Hercules and the Greg Valentine, and the Million Dollar Man and Jimmy Snuka matches would have been better, it would have definitely got 10 out of 10. Go check out SummerSlam '89. If you want to just go see some old school good WWF pay per view, SummerSlam '89 is great. Um, I'll be reviewing SummerSlam '90 next week. Um, but yeah, this has been a review of SummerSlam '88 and SummerSlam '89. Uh, if you haven't yet, go check out Bobo Brazil Jr.'s video. And be sure to tune in Monday. We have Bringing the Heat 3 with Juicy Jimmy Felcher. Peace.